afternoon, everyone. I'm Sanjay Shukla, and I'm a professional in the Indian apparel industry. Have been here for about 3 decades now. Uh, so when I was invited to be a part of BSL, Brands and Sourcing Leaders Association, the only reason I joined and the reason that you know prompted me to become an active member here was the fact that our Indian apparel and textile industry has been stuck in the 15 to 16 billion dollar apparel exports now for about last 5 years. We've got here up to 15, 16 billion dollars with a lot of effort and push from our manufacturers, from our councils, from AEPC, etc. They've done a stellar job to get Indian industry to where we are today. But the fact that we are not moving beyond that, there has to be a reason to it. And the reason is very clear, that we are not reimagining the way we are going about doing our business in this industry. Now, how do we reimagine? How do we reinvent ourselves? So let's take a cue from some of the other countries that manufacture and ship fashion apparel and essential apparel. First thing that struck me very clearly was they not only go for fairs abroad, and so I'm going to talk about the go-to-market strategy that India should have. So other countries, they not only go for fairs, but they go en masse, number one. They have dedicated areas, and each one of them goes with their specialization of product. So when a buyer goes there, he gets to see that this vendor is specialized in bottoms, this vendor is specialized in outerwear, etc. From India, what we tend to do is that most of them, 80% of them, carry very similar product, whether it's dresses or tops, block prints, etc., etc. So when the buyers go, they just go, shop, take a look, and quickly out of the door. They're not able to buy, they don't have things ready to buy. So our industry, first of all, needs to reimagine this. We have to go en masse, but we have to go with the specialization. The second thing that we really need to do as a country is to go for road shows. So when I say road shows means, like, we are brands and sourcing leaders. Many of my colleagues are part of the buying industry, and we have our principals, whether in the US or Europe, etc. So we should pre-plan meetings with them. We should set timing, and we should give profiles in advance of the manufacturers who are coming, their specializations, etc. And invite them to a focused roadshow. So when I say that, let's talk about man-made fiber apparel. It's such a huge industry. In 70% of global clothing trade is actually using man-made fiber apparel. And India has no presence, virtually no presence in that category. India is focused on cotton, which is only 30% of the global trade. For us, 70% of our exports are cotton-based. So clearly you can see we are swimming against the tide. So now let's focus on this category and say that if we pick the best of India, and the irony is that we are the second largest producer of polyester yarn. We are the third largest producer of viscose yarn. So the raw materials are very much in our country, but we are not able to convert it into globally aligned fabrics or globally aligned collections and go to them, to the buyers, and present that here is our product, aligned in terms of fabric and finesse, aligned in terms of price, so please come here and buy. We are not able to do that. It's not rocket science, right? So brands and sourcing leaders wants, with the support of all stakeholders, right from yarn to fabric to garmenting, to put together this kind of an agenda where we have road shows, let's say in 10 important cities of the world. We invite the buyers, they come for a focus collection. They may not buy right then, but interest is created. And after that, our government and our stakeholders should facilitate their travel into the country. We should have itineraries set up. They should go to key plants, spend time, and really educate themselves about what we can do in the MMF sector. So that, according to me, is a huge opportunity. It's a low-hanging fruit 200 to 220 billion dollars. So just imagine if we get 10% of that business, if we make a plan in the next 5 years, if we get in 10%, that's 22 billion, much more than what we are doing collectively today, which is 15, 16 billion dollars. So I think I don't want to talk about a huge vision and, ultimately end up nowhere. So this is a micro project which is focused on the go-to-market strategy for man-made fiber apparel from India and take it to the world. So that's the concept that I wanted to talk about to everybody here today. And, meeting various stakeholders, clusters, whether in Surat or in Tirupur or in Ludhiana or in Jaipur, etc., bring together, everybody onto a common platform and hope that this next 22 billion comes from the MMF sector in the next 5 to 7 years, so that by 2030, the government goal of having 100 billion dollars in apparel trade from India is fulfilled. This is my BSL iTalk.